Hello, I'm Bruce Lorincz, and this show is called Bruce on the Loose. I talk to people in Wadsworth city government, the school system, and on the road. We were in Akron recently. Now we're in Richmond at the Bauman orchards. And boy, what a time to be here in the fall and all the color behind us and around us. And Diana Bauman on my left really does a lot here. And also Jessica Burtz, who is also helping out and doing a lot of activities here. Diana, when did Bauman's Orchard really begin?
In 1929, my husband's grandfather, Ben Bauman, started this orchard and built the house that now we live in. We're the third generation to live in this farmhouse.
And I imagine over the years it has grown. I've come getting apples for years here,
Yeah.
and this was an establishment, but I understand you have a lot more activities around the area.
Well, like I said, he started in 1929. I believe he had around 50 acres. At this point, we do own 260 acres.
Wow.
At this point, my husband and myself and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, Bill and Monica Bauman, we are owners. And now their three sons have taken some ownership also into this business in just the past year.
I see your trucks on the road quite a bit. You
Yes.
just don't
Yeah.
sell in this location,
No.
but you also deliver to other locations as well.
And that's the wholesale part that the two nephews, Brett and Bryce Bauman, are running. And then the other nephew is Brandon Bauman, and he is running our other location down in Ashland County. It's called Scenic Ridge.
Okay.
We took over that farm in 1996.
Wow. Interesting. Just like little by little you expanded. Jessica, the fall is a great time to be an apple lover, and also other fruits as well. We have a lot more items we sell than apples, right?
Yeah, we have Bartlett pears right now, and Bosc pears, Asian pears, plums, and of course, like all the great pumpkins and mums.
And what is your role with Bauman's Orchards?
So I do events and like our social media and marketing and finding fun new like items to sell.
So I imagine like the upcoming weekends, we're kind of looking in October, right around the corner, and I'm sure the fall in October and maybe even early November, you have a lot of activities going on.
We do, yeah. We have our festivals for about 3 weekends, so we'll have 2 more coming up, and those are always crazy fun. We had like 5,000 people here last week, so it's a hoot. And then we have like our school tours throughout the week you can book, and then you pick all the time. So
All right, tell us about last Saturday. What was involved?
we had the You Pick Apples, we had probably 6, we had a bunch of vendors, food trucks, like Mary Book Breaking, Ott's Coffee, everybody loves. We had Willis Flowers truck, just a bunch of stuff you can do. It's no cover charge, so I think a lot of people like that since it's just free and you just come and get to enjoy a day with your family. Pumpkin painting,
Wow. Yeah.
petting zoo,
Wow.
hay maze.
Wow. I bet.
Forget our homemade apple cider donuts.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Anything you mentioned with apple cider, I remember as a kid overindulging with the cider and got a little tummy ache after, and my mom would say, "Nah, you take it easy, Bruce, not so enthusiastic." It has to make you feel really good, as Jessica mentioned, all those people coming in. So the word is spread
Yes.
that this is a place to be. Where do people park?
Every street you see is surrounding us.
Wow.
They fill up even all the way down to the stop sign this way,
Yeah.
stop sign this way, all the side streets, wherever they can, they find. And then the high school is just up this straight road,
Right.
and we have permission to use their parking lot. So
Well, that's excellent. You almost have to get a bus to bring people in. If you can find a driver, that's a real
That's the
problem
problem
in
right now,
Ohio.
to get
Yeah,
some shuttle
no
drivers,
question.
it is.
So, what would you say your role was in Bauman's Orchards? Are you the chief cook and bottle washer?
well, just of the retail farm market, I run the one here. And then we have another satellite, we call it Satellite Farm Market, that my sister-in-law Monica runs out on 585 and 57.
Yeah. So you were telling me in our conversation before that you have also some farmers sell out of their farms. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, that's tremendous. That has to make you feel good that your crops and your ideas have gone way beyond this facility.
Oh yeah. I would say, I guess I shouldn't maybe put a number out there, but I would say as far as retail is maybe like 30% of the business, and the rest is wholesale.
Wow, unbelievable. I didn't know it would be that much. I would think it would be reversed.
Well, and it's including the corner market,
Right.
and then we have another down at Scenic Ridge. There's also a
Okay.
farm market down there. So putting them together, I would say there's about 30% of the business.
Diane, I did a little research about apples. I just love apples. And Ohio is one of the top 10 apple producers in the country. Why do you think that's the case?
It's probably because of the weather. You know, you have to have your dormant season in the winter time. So if you have your southern states, they just don't get cold enough to set the apple crop.
Yeah, I had friends that we sent apples from here to Florida, and they said, "Oh, much
Yeah.
better in Ohio than
Yeah.
those mushy apples in
Yeah,
Florida."
It's just too warm to grow apples down in that state. So.
Jessica, I imagine there's a lot of planning. I mean, for last Saturday, if you had that many thousands of people here, it just doesn't happen overnight. You really have to plan and think ahead on things that you might not think would happens, right?
Yeah, we start planning in January, like getting all
Right.
our different food trucks in order, and then like start getting like she said, the donut trailer takes an army, so she starts getting all the girls ready for that, and plus like all the employees anyway that are gonna work. Yeah, so it's
Yeah, it must make you feel really good that, again, so many people respond and so many people come, and you're just crossing your fingers. And the weather this weekend's pretty nice too.
Yeah.
I do a little umpiring, and 77 Saturday and really sunny, so it should be a big day again Saturday.
It seems like it. It's probably going to be pretty big, and we have more apples to pick this time around, so I'm sure it'll be a big crowd. But it's a heartwarming feeling.
Yeah,
They're all here. So,
Right.
yeah.
Tell us about that. If I want to come in, I can pick a peck or what other bushel would be a lot more, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so you can come in, you stop into the market, and we get you your bags. You can do a peck or a half bushel.
Okay.
So it's either 10 pounds or 20 pounds.
Wow.
The peck's $10, half bushel's $20.
Okay.
And then you can mix your varieties. We have a little map that shows you which ones are ready right now. Then get you out there, and then you just come back in and pay.
You do that also with strawberries, I believe. I think I read something in maybe middle of June. You have strawberry picking, and people can come in, and it really is a good situation for families to come in
Oh, it's so
and get the kids come in, and it is fun.
Yeah, so we do the strawberries. This year we actually didn't get to have any pick strawberries
Oh.
just because the state of Ohio is a bad time for strawberries
Right.
with the drought. But typically it's great. But we did have pick blueberries, and those were fabulous this year. So a lot of people came for those as well.
Unbelievable. Now, Jessica gave me an idea here. What about insects or the weather? Are the orchard people always worried about insects coming in? I saw that sometimes we have insects coming in from other countries, and they really do hurt corn and other crops.
Well, Bill Bauman, who is my brother-in-law,
Right.
he is our grower, and he does an excellent job. He keeps up to date with what he needs to do as far as spraying, keep it to a minimum, but yet be effective that he has quality fruit for us to sell. And he does a fine job.
And it's hard to predict the weather, but
Yeah.
a little rain last night, and the temperatures are really pretty good.
Yeah.
So Ohio is, as you say, it's not extreme. It's not 100 degrees for 20 days in a row, or it's not below zero like in other states as well.
Correct. But that's like the winter time, like when we get to this next January, February, we're going to be concerned. We don't like to see temperatures much below zero. The fruit is setting, and we want to be able to have a crop. But if it gets too cold, we're worried. And then we really worry in April and May. Say you've had some warm weather in February and March, and the buds come out. They never retract once they start coming out in the spring. And then they get vulnerable at certain times. The degree is very critical when it's during full bloom. If it gets too cold, we're running our frost fans, and pretty much Bill's staying up most of the night worrying about the crop, and he's got good thermometers. He's watching the temperature. My husband will get up with him and help monitor, and then they'll turn on these frost fans that we have on location. Even 1 degree can help save a crop, and the idea is
I never would thought that would be that critical.
Can make a difference. It really can.
Wow.
So I'm a believer in the frost fans. Obviously, my brother-in-law is too, or he wouldn't have them here on the property. But they're doing something. On years gone by, they've tried to let like charcoal bags or railroad ties. And it's just really a lot of effort and then a mess to clean up to try and raise the heat or raise the temperature so these fruits don't freeze.
Techniques have evolved over the years. Not only have you expanded, but also some new things to keep the crops alive and fruitful.
And when you have,
sorry for that phrase, fruitful, but it just kind of popped in.
And when you have 260 acres, you know, you
right.
just can't build a little fire here and a little fire there
Right.
and keep it going for the next 3 or 5 hours to keep the temperature, you know, a little warmer than what it's recording at the time. So
I'm always impressed with the variety you have. You know, the apples, and some of them are seasonal, which is okay, but there's an apple for everyone here, isn't there?
Oh, I think
there's
so.
if you want crispy, if you want tart, if you want juicy, there's an apple for you.
yeah, you named them. I have a daughter, my oldest daughter. She loves the July apple, the Lodi apple. If you ask her, that's her favorite apple. But to me, that's a cooking apple. I asked, even yesterday, she just mentioned that is her #1 apple. It's sour, it's not real hard, and that's what she likes to eat. But they do make great pies, I will say that. So.
Jessica, it seems like people come from all over, you know, just not the Rittman area. It's certainly, you know, Worcester and Orville and Wadsworth and Medina. That has to make you feel good that the word has gotten out there, that come to Bauman's to get fresh fruit and, you know, also flowers, gourds, all sorts of things that you can purchase. So that has to make you feel very positive about getting the word out.
Yeah, it's cool to see like the outreach we have and all the people, because I know we even get like a lot of like Cleveland, Avon, Aurora Farms. I think somebody was out here from there, so they kind of find us, which is funny to me because I just think we're like out here in our little country, but they find us.
Yeah, it really, and that's why you do things, big events on the weekend. So you have 2 more weeks of the activities for the fall. Is there anything beyond that you have anything like in later October or November? Of course, Thanksgiving, you probably get everything decorated and everything. Who's responsible for that, the decorations?
I kind of do. Diane and I, we share the decorating.
Okay,
It's a lot
all
of
right.
fun. Yeah, not necessarily events, but for Thanksgiving, of course, like we have tons of pies. So if you need to order your Thanksgiving Day pies, we're here.
Yeah.
And then also for Christmas, we do tons of fruit baskets. Diana makes, and they're gorgeous. So those make a great gift as well.
We do it together.
Yeah, to camaraderie. And I did see on your checkout area, you were sending a box of fruit to Georgia,
Yep.
and I've sent some to my friends in Florida when they rave about. So that's really nice, especially around the Christmas season,
Yes.
that people will get a gift box of,
Yeah.
of apples.
That's when we send the most, is at Christmas time.
Right.
But there's a few here and there now too in the fall that people
Right,
are sending
right.
out. So.
And I'm sure you want to go ahead. Usually people get a variety, maybe 2 or 3 different brands of apples, or usually they just stick to one.
You know, it mixes up. Like today it was all Red Delicious.
Okay.
Yesterday I sent out 2. One was Honey Crisp and one was a mixture of 4 different kinds. So I'll do whatever they want. That's what I'm here for, just to get the customer what they want, keep
Yeah,
them happy,
right.
and service them.
Yeah, Honey Crisp, that's what my wife really likes, Honey Crisp. I like Gala
Yeah.
and some others that are a little more tart and everything.
Honey Crisp is definitely one of the favorites, but
Yeah.
then we also have another one, Evercrisp. But
okay.
it's not harvested till November. I always say it misses the party.
Okay, all right.
But
yeah.
I will say it's kind of half and half now.
Okay,
People
yeah.
choose Evercrisp or Honeycrisp
Okay.
would be our 2 top sellers.
Okay, all right. Jessica, how about we move inside? Maybe we can go ahead and get educated with your activities inside, and I think there's some things there we can also take a look at. Does that sound good?
great.
Okay, we'll be back in just a second. We're back with Bruce on the Loose, Diana Bauman on my left, and Jessica Burt on my right. Jessica, it seems like really a lot of different variety of things. People could come here and say, hey, I just want to get some apples, but you know, they see the bananas and they see the honey and they see all sorts of other things, blueberries, when they're in season.
True.
And they may pick up some other things. That's what you'd like to see, right?
I do, yeah. Especially, like you said, honey. The honey is from
Oh.
Steve's bees. He brings the bees here and they pollinate,
Oh.
so it's local, so it's
Wow.
super good. One of my favorites is we have some seasonings over here, like spices, and they're
Oh,
single source. They're super good. Other fun things I'm trying to think of.
yeah,
but
yeah, sure.
yeah.
Sure, there's just an array of things that people get, and again, people now are really conscious about the pureness and the goodness of those items. You can't get better than apples and fruit. It's really, really, very healthy for you, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I think just like providing people with like healthy options and like local options, and even like we love to partner and sell like our like other local businesses. Like we have Dana Miller nuts, we have Buckeye Country Creamery milk. We just like to stay so people know what they're getting and where it's coming from.
And it's reciprocal too. If you get some of their products, they say, well, we need maybe some apples or pumpkins or something. It's kind of, then you can get business going the other way, right?
Yeah, absolutely, which is it's good.
Yeah, no question about it. I imagine that right now, what are some of you mentioned the apple, Honeycrisp, one of the top sellers, and what Evercrisp.
Yeah.
But you also have, I see right here, we have lemons, and we have onions, and we have, pears. I saw on the sign, Bartlett pears.
Yeah, they're coming to an end,
Okay.
but we're now getting ready to put out the Bosque pear, the winter pear, and we also grow some Asian pears.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I remember my mom getting all her ingredients together, the jars, and she was a big canner.
Yep.
She would can and can and can
Yep.
pears,
Yep.
peaches, and even beets. She would do beets,
Oh, yeah.
and she really inherited that from her mother. People don't can as much, do they, as they
don't.
used to?
And I used to do a lot myself. When my children were at home, I would do quite a few bushels of different of the fruits. And then, children leave and you don't need as much. And then we learned we like frozen even better. Like the peaches, I love our frozen peaches.
Okay.
Coral Star is one of my favorites. When I freeze them, I don't add sugar. They don't need it. And you just bring them out in the wintertime and they're just like fresh summer peaches.
Yeah, that's something that sometimes people can't have a lot of sugar, but if you do watch that, and it's certainly...
They don't need it, so
Yeah.
it's healthy for you just to eat these frozen peaches.
I imagine it's nice to see when you first opened up, cars coming in and getting ready to go, and again, purchasing things. I imagine it's nice to see customers coming in, and it seems like your day goes probably pretty quick.
They go very quickly. Sometimes Jessica will admit that it's 4 o'clock and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to go eat lunch and I'm going to go start supper before the rest of you go home. So yeah, the days just fly by. They
Yeah,
really
no
do.
question.
Yeah.
Jessica, with some of your ideas and some of your events and everything, do you have to clear it? Do you kind of work with Diana and the big bosses and everything to make sure everything is A-okay to go to do something new?
Oh, for sure. Usually we come up with the ideas, or I'll come up to her
Right.
with this idea, and she'll be like, "Why would we have yoga in the orchard?" And then we're like, "Oh, it'll be so fun." And then
Yeah.
they come. And then like our 5K, we had our second one this year.
Wow.
So that one, like, she was in support of, and then also Bill, who's
Right.
in charge of the orchard, had to make sure he was good with people running around, and it's all good. So yeah, that was a fun time. So as long as they give me the A-OK, I'm all about promoting it.
So it sounds like you get on the internet and you're the computer wizard, I understand. You're really a lot of different ideas and a lot of starting new customs along the way and traditions.
I try.
Yeah.
I like it. I just think it's so fun, and I just know like my age group of people and younger, older, I just think everybody loves to come to an orchard and do something.
Right.
People think fun. So I think if the more different things you can come and run a 5K in an orchard. Not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah.
Yoga,
Right.
festivals.
Yeah, and then people come in for the yoga, and they may come back later and get some pumpkins or some
Exactly.
pies at Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Pies are really good. Who makes your pies? Do some of the local people and ladies make pies?
So they're from Troyers.
Okay.
They're in Apple Creek,
Right,
so it's a local.
right. Yeah, Wayne County,
Yep.
in Apple Creek, yeah.
And they're so good. They have a
Yeah.
great banana cream pie.
Yeah.
It's great for Thanksgiving.
Those cinnamon rolls. I'm
Oh,
also
yeah.
those cinnamon rolls. I've probably put not a
Stay
couple
away from
ounces.
those.
Yeah, those are something else. So it seems like over the years you've really worked with a lot of different other companies and businesses, and it's kind of nice to have those relationships, and especially when we had COVID and people were in their houses and not not getting out so much. How did you approach that? Were you still open? And
We were still open, and it was the busiest record sales ever. We're small. I think people felt safe. We were wiping down every door, every cart continuously, and just being smaller, they felt more comfortable coming here. And then we did curbside service, which is probably Jessica's idea. She's always full of good ideas.
Right.
And like I said, we set some records. We haven't touched those numbers yet. I hope in another year or two, maybe we can get to those numbers again. But yeah, it was our busiest time ever.
did that surprise you that you would have that outpouring of support from the community, and
Yeah.
they felt safe, and
Yeah.
again, they probably wore masks and
Yeah,
stay
we
away
had
from each
to.
other.
And we had to put our barrier up, the plastic barrier.
Right.
We call it, our little
Right.
alcove there that we
Sure.
protected ourselves, protected them, and it was nice though when we could finally take it down.
Yeah. Well, Jessica, you got credit for another thing, a curbside service. Was that your idea?
It was probably mutual, but
Yeah,
yes.
right. Yeah, really, again, just one more reason for people to come out and come and they want apples or they want something, maybe a pie or something. They can go ahead and get that, and it'd be delivered to them, and they could go home and enjoy. And I see in the case here, and I'm sure we're going to get that picture afterwards. There's the cider, and there's something about cider that I really enjoy very much. And again, that usually is like in August to like November. Is there a seasonal time frame for that?
So we start pressing, like this past year, I think there was only maybe a month we didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
But they press daily, so this morning they were back there, and then they'll jug it. So
Okay.
we all do that here,
Okay.
which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so usually start September, I would say. Once
Okay.
we like to have like 5 varieties of apples
Yeah.
to throw in to get like a good flavor. So once we have that, then they just keep pressing, and it about doesn't turn off until June.
Yeah, okay.
I
All right,
would
I'll
say.
remember that. I usually try to go fall, but I'll go ahead and get some more. Any new ideas, since you're the idea lady? What, anything new up your sleeve that you might think about next year or the year after? Something you'd like to try and see how it goes?
I gotta say,
Okay.
in this busy time, I haven't thought
Okay,
of any yet.
okay, well-
Usually brainstorming is like
Yeah.
January.
Right, okay, yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
oh,
That makes sense,
let
that
you know.
you're, just like schools, getting ready for the next school year. As a former administrator, that's the time we kind of look at schedules and people and things like that and get things going, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
I imagine you're proud of what Bauman's Orchards has
Yeah.
done for the community, and it seems like you have reached out over the years and had more activities.
Oh, yes.
And again, sending apples to southern states, Florida, Georgia, and probably the West Coast, et cetera.
Yeah,
That
wherever.
has to make you feel good for people getting those, and on Saturday, and thousands of people. Jessica said thousands. That was breathtaking to see, and people fighting for a parking spot probably.
Pretty much
It's
so.
got to make you feel pretty good that what you're doing here is worthwhile, and it really benefits a lot of people.
Yeah. We thank God that we've been so blessed and that people do like to come out to the farm because we love to share our farm.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've enjoyed talking to you two ladies today. I've learned a great deal, and if you're in the vicinity, and if you're not, come to Bauman's Orchards, and there's something here for everyone. A lot of activities coming up next 2 weeks, but I'd say, when is things starting up this Saturday?
We open at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Maybe get a couple minutes early so you can get a good spot and stay for a couple hours and have a good time here at Rittman, at Bauman's Orchards in Rittman, Ohio. So thank you very much, and we'll do another show next week.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.